We can mentally be crocheting or mentally be needle pointing or doing something where we find ourselves doing a repetitive, meditative kind of practice. You know, crocheting, needlepoint, those things, etc., beading. Those are meditative, repetitive practices. Just like our yoga is kind of a repetitive, meditative practice. So what we focus on is our breath. We get that going and we understand what that is and where it is. Here comes Cheryl. And then we move with that breath, okay? So it is also something just like those repetitive, smaller eye-hand coordination things are. Our yoga practice is a larger muscle group, eye-hand motivation, coordination practice. So it's all really good stuff. It's nice to have a balance. So finding that straight spine, finding your breath, reconnecting with it, right? It didn't disappear. We just disconnect from it. So maybe closing your eyes to disconnect from all of the surrounding beauty that is around you and your beautiful, humble abodes. Just kind of closing the eyes and letting the face relax and the body relax, the shoulders pull away from your ears because they want to always be saying, hey, something's going on I have to attend to. So I got to get those shoulders all engaged and engage those muscles there. And right now, let go. Follow your breath in and out a few times. Follow it in and out, and follow it to the left and to the right. Follow it up and down. Follow it front and back. Expanding in all directions. 360 degrees. Spherical perfection. 2 more, please. And then starting to flutter our eyes open. Arms release down, lift on up, inhale, and take it just to what feels right for you, for your shoulders, right? So if this isn't right, this is maybe this is, maybe that is. Find where your arms, your shoulders wish to take you right now as you lift, lengthen through your spine a little bit more. Gazing upright. And leaving the arms just where they are, just fold over to one side. Bring yourself up on an inhale. Let yourself come over on an exhale. Working little by little into a side stretch. But really what we're doing with both arms up is we are working on our abdominal muscles. So we don't have to go over too far to do that, because we're suspending ourselves with our abdominal muscles here. Holding up on our in-breath. One more time each side, exhale. Beautiful, like the breeze. Nice, flowing, beautiful. Come on down into an open-hearted cactus. Going back, the shoulders and elbows. Lifting chin to a place that feels right for you. Feel that all across your chest. And then bring yourself into a curling into yourself, chin to chest, elbows towards your navel, looking down. And then rising up to straight spine, arms open, and inhale, bring those arms back Squeezing into shoulders, looking up, and taking ourselves back through center, and exhale, hands in prayer, elbow points to our navel or the belly, shoulders pull down, lift up. Repeat a few more times. Here is our big inhale. Open hearted, open chested. And here as we lower, exhaling, chin towards chest, shoulders peel down. They're going to want to pull up. So tell them who's boss. Just a little different way of doing cow and cat here. And let's do 2 more with your breath. Leading the way. Shoulders keep pulling down away from your ears, okay? They like to hike up. And I'm gonna do 1 more here. Again, kind of a repetitive, meditative process. Open up here. And now let's lift one arm up, let the other one come down. Now we want to get more into the side stretching part rather than just into the obliques, okay? And let yourself come down. Inhale, lift yourself up, both arms. Exhale. Take it on down. Bringing up on your inhale. But we're still working that side, right? We're working that waist line. Two more sets, right? You guys leading it with your breath. And again, if shoulders don't want to lift this high, let those arms come into a V or just straight out from your shoulders, right? So we can learn to listen to our body, make those adaptations that are appropriate for us. Honoring those beautiful bodies that each one of us exists in. Lifting. And lowering on down. Let your chin come heavy towards your chest. Release in the back side of your neck. Feel that happening as the shoulders weigh down a little bit more. Good, and lifting up our heads. Let's go ahead and still our knees are pretty much forward. We haven't really opened up much yet. But I'm gonna lean with my forearm on one of my thighs. Okay, so I'm leaning my body weight over just a bit. And then this hand, I don't want to hit the chair, but I want to just make some big circles. Okay. And release into that shoulder. But again, if the shoulder says, I don't want to go that high, it might be doing these little circles like that. Okay. Listen, listen, listen to our body's wisdom. So if we were trying to swim right now, we'd be swimming in circles. Let's go and do a backstroke in circles now. And arm up. And exchanging it out for the other one. Leaning over again to give us room to make those circles and make sure we don't hit the back of your chair, okay? I don't want anybody to hurt themselves. And just make those circle swimming strokes. I haven't really gone swimming for quite some time, ever since I really didn't like the idea of swimming in chlorine that enters into my bloodstream. But I miss it. Let's go ahead and go back. That was very meditative for me. It was a time in my life that I really needed that, and just being underwater like that, hearing the sounds of the strokes and my breath underwater was, again, a repetitive, meditative movement. On up and down. Hands on our knees, and let's do a rocking cat and cow, okay? So rocking. Let's come up onto the balls of our feet. I got my boots on still because I'm cold in here. So I'm on the balls of my feet. Hands are here, okay? And I'm gonna take my chest forward. And then I'm gonna rock back to my heels, pick up my toes, press into my heels, and curl and tuck and round. Then come on up, balls of my feet, open up through my chest. Nice. And ball back to heels. Curl and tuck and round. You guys keep going there. Let's do 2 more sets. Your breath. Good. And rolling back up to a straight spine here. One leg's gonna stay straight and forward. The other's gonna come out to my heel. I'm gonna go ahead and take these boots off. A little clumsy. I'm gonna come out to my heel on one side. You can see that. And the other leg stays pretty much forward, okay? Then I'm gonna slide this hand down, not pressing on my knee joint though, okay? On the thigh or below the knee. And as I come down, open up this side body, take my arm on over. Yeah, gate pose, this is called here, okay? And then I can pull that shoulder back a bit, look up if I like on an inhale, look down on an exhale, looking up on an in-breath, taking my gaze down on an exhale, maybe finding myself opening up in that upper region more, maybe coming down a little deeper on the lower region. One more time, looking up, inhale, and exhale, downward. Take that upper hand, slide it to your hip, and then slide yourself up and exchange out your legs. One leg comes forward, the other comes out onto heel. Yeah, good. And let's go ahead and slide this hand down, not pressing on the knee though, okay? That would give us into a joint, pushing into a joint the way it doesn't want to go. Right, let's go ahead on over, gate pose here. Most everything, so much of what yoga is and different poses can be done in a chair. This is very similar to what gate pose is. Let's go ahead and look up, inhale. And you exhale, take it on down. Your own breath. And again, be careful, our neck is a bunch of little joints there, and they want to move cautiously, carefully, but we do want to move them, right? Once we stop moving in our joints, then stagnation really sets in. Let's do another one, up and down. And hand slides to hip. Bring yourself up and bring that leg on in. So that's why walking, you know, is really good for us to just get into our hips, our knees, our ankles, our arms if we're doing this, right? So let's do a little bit of walking. Picking up our feet, taking our arms and really going into that, they call that, I guess it's race walking or something, right? When you really kind of waddle. This is good because we are getting into our lymphatic system right here by moving this, okay? When we're opening up our legs or moving them forward and back, we are getting into the lower part of our lymphatic system. There you go. Whew. Let's take a couple of shoulder rolls back. And a couple forward. All right. And now let's go into legs together, squeezing them together, okay? We're gonna go into our eagle pose here in a moment with our arms and our legs. I'm getting warm. So squeeze those legs together, squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. And then let's go ahead and leave one foot ground and pick the other one up and cross, okay? Cross on over, and let's take some circles with that ankle. So important again for balance, for connectivity to the earth, to feel that the joints in our ankle and our toes and our feet are happy and healthy and vibrant. So how do we do that? Keep them moving, okay? Keep them moving, just like we need to keep our hands moving. Like we were talking about that nice little eye-hand coordination of crocheting or beading or needling, right? Or anything else that you might attend to with your hands. Here we go. All right, so you can stay just like this. Maybe you're down here, but you're still crossed with a little bit internal rotation. I know Lydia, one time you used to, I'm not sure if you're doing more, this front foot can come behind if you want, and you can kind of come into a double cross. But that again is depending on if our joints are happy with that, okay? So don't do it if not. And let's lift up. So the top leg, okay? Which one is that? Lift your arms up. And that same arm of the top leg comes under, okay? That's the thing about eagle, we do it opposite. This one's up, then the other goes under. And then we come here and let's hug ourselves first before we go into full eagle. Pull those shoulders down. And let's lift up one and then the other as we pull down. Good. And then go ahead and let the arms come together. If that is in your practice and that feels all right for your joints, okay? Having the forearms come together, maybe having part of your hand touching it's each other. Lift on up, inhale. Looking, maybe bending into the spine just a little bit. And then exhale, kind of swan diving forward, taking your elbows towards your knees. And let your heavy head rest in your biceps there. Bowing eagle. Rise on up, inhale. And let's take it into twisted eagle. Take those elbows to your opposite hip and look behind you. Squeezing down. Lift back into center. And take it to the other side. Twisted bowing eagle. And rising up. Exhale, release those arms. Rise up. Still stay with that leg crossed. Come on down so that our hands are coming right out of our shoulders. Okay? Right out of the shoulders. There you go. And then let those hands drop down like little scarecrow things. And let's let them just go. they are going, right? The under part of our arm is going, but the upper part of our arms, our shoulders, they're doing some work here to keep our arms up. We just kept doing this for a while. We're going to feel that in the deltoids, the biceps, the triceps. Even though it seems like we're loosey-goosey, we're really not completely that way. And then both up and both down. Yeah, I know it looks a little funny, but let's just go with it, okay? Yeah, there you go. And hanging down and taking them out, lifting up, inhale. Pull on down into cactus arms with fingers pointed up, squeeze back, open up through heart, and hands down, releasing that top leg, okay? Take it on out. Before we go to the other side, walk those feet out. Let your knees be knock-kneed here, okay? And from here, we'll just have maybe hands and hips or whatever. And I'm gonna go ahead, lift onto my toes, press into my knees, and then come on back down. Lift onto toes, press into knees. And just do that a few times. Just again, getting into the ankle, but with a little bit of weight there onto the balls of our feet. Kind of an awkward pose. And we do this in a standing yoga practice too. We bend into our knees, we come up onto the balls of our feet, and we lower down into chair. So with our knees together, let's come arms up, hands forward, chair pose. Squeeze those knock knees together, okay? Press down onto the balls of your feet. Rise up, inhale. Exhale. Rise on your in-breath. Still squeezing in. Exhale down, still squeezing in and down one more time. And maintaining a straight spine, all of those muscles having to work to do that. And then release. Ooh, let your legs come out. Let your feet come to the ground. Let's come up on the ball of one foot and then press it down. Come up on the ball of the other and then press it down. And then let's do a little bit of Charleston just to get those hips happy, okay? Coming into internal and then external rotation there. Good. All right, let's take it to the other side. So the opposite foot stays centered, the other leg comes over. So we're crossing again. And let's take those ankle rotations. And reversing. So in a standing eagle, we're standing on one foot. So in our balance practice, we may practice not actually that, but steps towards that, right? To get us to trust ourselves a little bit more. I don't know who was there the other day. And then from here, let's see, we're gonna go ahead and lift our arms up, inhale. And then that same top leg, that arm, go ahead and make an X. That one comes under. Come to your shoulders, pull down, and just take your neck back and forth. But anyways, if you were in on that Zoom session the other day, Shelly, it was fun to watch Shelly because she thought she wouldn't be able to do, and then take your arms together, the wall. And on one side, she didn't, but on the other side, she just went right up because she trusted herself, right? Trusting in yourself and your body is really pretty important in anything, right? Go ahead and lift up, inhale. And then exhale, flow forward, elbows towards your knees, chin to chest. And she was so ecstatic that she did that, you know. And I said, it's because you trusted. She said, oh, yeah, I think that's right. Come on up, inhale. Let's come into a twisted eagle, elbows towards one of your hips. Your ear comes down towards your thigh. Rise up, inhale. Exhale and bring those elbows towards the opposite hip. Let your neck release. Come on up, inhale. And from here, let's make 2 circles in one direction. Two circles in the opposite direction. Rising up. Exhale, releasing our arms. Let them come up. Inhale. Exhale, bring ourselves to shoulder height. This time, one arm dangles, one arm lifts, okay? And let's just do this kind of motion here, right? In and out. And just keeping those arms lifted, right? And moving the lower part. We are utilizing the strength of our back muscles, our shoulder muscles, but we kind of forget about it because we're doing these weird things with our hands and arms, okay? And then let's switch that out. Opposite down, opposite up, and see if we can do that same kind of thing here or here. You know, just find something where you can keep this little momentum going. Hi, everybody. Yeah, good. All right, and then back down and open up your legs. Take yourself on forward with a straight spine, okay? And your arms are lifting. Let's do a little bit of this, okay? Also taking us into these kind of weird postures. You know, we just got over Halloween, right? And all the weirdness of costumes and everything. We can do those kinds of things with their body. And then go ahead and let these dangle again. If your arms are talking to you, mine are too. Last week after, I don't know which class it was, oh man, my waist, I could feel it. It's like, yay, good. Okay, hands on your thighs. Bring yourself up. Inhale, look up. And exhale, curl, tuck, round. One more time, just a seated cat and cow. And exhale. Good, and then let's go ahead and open up a little bit farther with our feet, our knees, our hips, okay? If you have blocks, a nice place to utilize them, if you like, on the outside of your feet. If not, you don't have to use them at all, okay? So I'm gonna go ahead and take one hand, slide it down my leg, holding my hand onto where the leg is or placing it onto the block. Right? When I place it under the block, I can put my weight straight down. When I'm pressing into my own body, sometimes that pushes me out of alignment, okay? So I like the blocks. And so I'm resting here, and my other arm is going to shoot up and past my ear and past my head. And here you can't see me, but I'm going to be doing this, okay? Making fists and extending fingers outward. Why? To pump up energy into our joints of our fingers and send that strength and that energy down along that open line that we have there in this side angle pose. Extend, good, and then bring myself up. And exhale, other hand down. Find that sturdiness of the block. And again, if you don't have a block and you don't want to push into the side of your leg, you can do this. Okay, forearm on your thigh. Other option, take that arm all the way over. Find that length and then find strength by coming again into these kind of crazy fingers. Fist and release. And this is something you can do just seated, watching TV or whatever. You're going to build the muscles in your arms and your forearms. just by doing something like this. Extend and bring yourself up back to here. Good. And then from here, raise up, inhale. Exhale, take it on down through heart center. Let's flow here. Inhale. Exhale. Rise up. Take it down. This time I'm going to rise up into the balls of my feet too. Getting a little action into my calf. As I come down here, I'll come on down to heels. Inhale. Onto the balls of my feet. Exhaling down to my heels. Good. Follow that pattern, please. Good. Nice. It's beautiful, ladies. Repetitive, meditative movements. Let's do 2 more sets. Good. And then take your hands on down. Good. Let's go ahead and take ourselves to the side of our chair with both legs. Find ourselves on our sits bones. Find ourselves with a nice straight spine. So straight spine means we're not taking ourselves into cow right now, nor are we taking ourselves into cat. We're really trying to stack the vertebral column and the cervical spine, all of it, right, as one. I'm going to take my hands, place them on the back of the chair, okay? As I do that, my torso begins to twist already, but I'm still looking straight to the side, okay? And then I'm going to go ahead and make sure I've got a really long spine. And then go ahead and let my hands and bring my shoulders and my torso over to one side, keeping my feet planted. Don't want to go too far, but you want to go to a place where you feel that in your waist, right? You've got a good grip there that's helping you with that twist. And then I keep my height. So grow a little, about an inch taller before you release, okay? Inch taller. And then slowly bring yourself out of that twist. Take ourselves back to neutral spine. And here, shoot one arm up. That same arm that just lifted up, lift that same foot up. Take the opposite hand, try to touch your foot. Bring yourself back up, switch out. Other hand lifts, that same foot lifts, other hand comes and tries to touch it. And then bring yourself back. We'll take both arms up as we do that. Lift one leg, come on over, try to touch. Set yourself into straight and come into a little twist as you come to try to touch your foot, maybe your shin, your knee, somewhere where you're using, whoop, right in there, your abdominal strength. Go ahead. Inhale. Exhale as you come into trying to touch that opposite foot. Inhale as you lengthen up. Exhale, taking it down. Using breath. Repetitive, meditative. One more time each side. Hands come down onto your knees. Before we switch to the other side, take your hand on the side that's by the chair, okay? Cross it to the outside leg. Your other hand comes behind you, press into the chair to help you lift your spine up and take a little twist in this direction, okay? So we're using our hands here to help and assist us again into coming into a twist. Feel that in that waistline. Yes. And press down a little bit more, grow about 1/2 inch, and then let yourself release on to the side. Good. Let's go ahead and do the other side. So standing up or just flipping yourself around. Let's go ahead and sit on the other side of the chair. Find yourself seated, sits bones down, spine straight, crown reaching up, and really trying to hug in here, okay? Hugging in here will keep us from doing this or doing that. We're just keeping everything really well aligned. Then my hands are going to come to the back of that chair already. This shoulder starts to come in that direction. My torso starts to come there. But before I do that, let's push into our feet, lift up through our crown, really lengthen, right? Then go ahead and begin to slowly take yourself around. And again, only going to where it feels just right and perfect for your body. And grow 1/2 inch. And then slowly let yourself come on back around. Releasing here. And now we're going to challenge yourself a little bit more. Take your arms out, forward, okay? And we're gonna pick up one foot off the ground, knee comes up, bend into the opposite arm, and take that elbow towards that knee. And maybe your hand comes back here. And then take yourself forward, arms are forward, feet are down. And go ahead, lift, bend into the elbow, take yourself into a twist, and then take yourself back into neutral. Inhale, and exhale. Inhale, lengthen. Neutrality, exhale. And maybe elbow and knee don't come together. Doesn't matter. We're still using strength in our arms, in our legs, and in our core. And you're breathing. Repetitive, meditative breath. One more set. Okay. Hands come down. Let's go ahead and do, just to reset the spine, 2 sets of cow and cat, okay? Lifting, looking, inhaling, curling, tucking, rounding, exhaling, shoulders pull away from your ears in all those positions. Good. And then let's go ahead and turn back forward. And we're going to do a little bit of goddess pose here before we end. And those of you that might have come in a little bit later, we're ending a little bit early today because I have someone coming to do some measurements for a gate. And they could be here in a few minutes. So, all right, let's go ahead, open up. Now, take your goddess into seated, right, by pressing solidly down into your feet. I can just press into my feet, almost feel myself lifting out of my chair, and that's engaging these hips, these glutes, these thighs, okay? But you got to do the pressing, all right? And then the arms come up, press down into feet, pull those arms down. We've done a lot of this already today, this action with our arms. Inhale, exhale, pull it on down. Inhale, lift. Exhale, take and make fists, pull it on down. Inhale, lift, press into your feet, pull it on down. Inhale, lift. This time, come in, make fists, and be strong, okay? So we're gonna do one of these, right? Like the muscle people used to do. One hand on the forehead, turn the other one down, bring it back up, and then do it again on the other side. And then come back to muscle women pose, press down into your feet, let your legs shake. You're pressing so much into the ground. Let your arms shake, you're squeezing so much into your muscle to bone here. Do it another couple breaths here, pressing, squeezing, and inhale and exhale. Whew. Let yourself go. So when I let myself go, my legs just automatically turned in to release from the hips. Don't know what your guys did. And then walk yourself in. And let's sit strong, straight, and tall. Come back into a nice, calm breath. So taking ourselves into an active pose like we just did, and then taking ourselves into centering is a good practice. It's a good practice for us as we go through our day and something takes us into a challenge where we're tightening into our muscles. And now we need to biofeedback and release that, coming into breath, coming into calm, coming into homeostasis, coming into homeotheos, coming into connecting the dualities together and balancing. Arms are down, they rise up, inhale. Exhale, hands come to heart center. I honor the place in you where the universe dwells. I honor that place in each and every one of you where there is love, light, peace, and joy. For when you are in that place in you, and I can find that in myself, we are together, we are one. Let's stay connected, and let's stay with our connected, repetitive, meditative breath throughout the